like not getting to the bottom of things is more bothersome to you than being in an uncomfortable situation. So you'll put yourself out there. You will put yourself in uncomfortable situations in order to explore. Um, I want to just say the truth because I think for you a lot of this comes back to the truth. So in order to explore the truth, you will put yourself in some uncomfortable situations. There's something fearless about this message. I think when it comes to finding the truth, seeking it out, and speaking on it, this is where you really excel. And I think that one thing that goes on with you is like once you know the truth about a situation, it's really hard for you to go back to your old ways of thinking. It's hard for you to fall back into old patterns that don't serve like the new paradigm. So I think as these truths are revealed to you, you're someone who can implement these changes into your life. Not to say that it's easy for you, but it's just really difficult for you if you know that like something doesn't work anymore, something is outdated, maybe you've outgrown something, or you find something out about a person. It's hard for you to go back to the time when you didn't have that knowledge or when you weren't able to implement it into your life, if that makes sense. Um, and in a lot of ways, there's bravery in that too, because I think a lot of times we learn lessons, but we don't necessarily implement them because the change that would have to be made because of the lesson that we learn is actually the scary part. But it looks to me like you might be somebody who kind of pushes yourself to implement, to learn, to grow, to kind of evolve. Like when you have more information, you actually do something with it. Like when you know better, you do better. So I think that's a huge part of your personality that Spirit is highlighting. Um, yeah, a state of ignorance isn't really like your comfortable place. I'm getting the feeling that you like to have more information than less. You like to be well informed about what's going on so you can make informed decisions. You like to be really upfront with what's going on, like really upfront with the truth of the matter, getting to the heart of it. Um, I'm not even sure if you realize how much bravery that takes because whenever I'm looking into someone's like personality traits, it's usually something that comes quite naturally to them. Even if it's something that they struggle with, even the idea to operate in that way is something that comes naturally. So I feel like for a lot of you, this could be something that you don't realize takes a lot of bravery because you might not understand how much people shy away from learning the truth. They shy away from the like the darker things sometimes. I think that you have enough courage to look in the dark places when it's necessary so that you can resolve problems so that you can clear things up. I think that you really you excel at that and you might not recognize that in yourself. um, so yeah, I'm seeing you as somebody who has a lot of guts when it comes to speaking up and also when it comes to confronting your shadow and dealing with your shadow, and that is true in all aspects of life. um, I think that see, there's two different ways I can go with this because there is a part of me that's looking at this and thinking, for a lot of people, you can be quite confronting. I think people who don't like to deal with the truth or who don't want to work on their shadow, people who don't want to improve themselves, who don't have self-improvement as like a main goal in life, you might be a little bit confronting to those people. It could have even had disagreements, arguments, or little bumps in the road with people in your life when you wanted to speak up on a truth or when you wanted to point out something that they weren't comfortable looking at. Because it just feels like, I guess this is a bit like holding a mirror up to someone in a way, and you kind of show them sides of themselves that they aren't willing to look at, that they might not be ready to look at. So yeah, I do think that there can be something that is inherently like it can inherently cause conflict with this way of operating if you do tend call things out. And that's not to say that these things don't need to be called out. These are these are the kind of things that need to be called out, things that need to be worked on and resolved. But people run from those things, and it's like you run toward them. I think that for a lot of you, this can be a lonely road to walk, because these are the types of situations where people tend to look the other way when there's a problem. They tend to run the other way when things get tough. But I feel like when things get tough, when the mess really hits the fan, that's kind of when you kick into gear. That's when you're willing to dig deep and to find out, like find the solutions to the problem, find the the thing that maybe no one thought of, or maybe the thing that no one was brave enough to do, no one was brave enough to say, no one was brave enough to go there, and you'll be the person who was brave enough to go there. Um, you're facing challenges head on, and that's something that's really coming through as a part of your personality that's crucial to this. There's something that you're going to use. You're going to implement these abilities a lot in your life's purpose. So your purpose will definitely draw upon that bravery that you exhibit, and kind of this, like, I want to call it like a pioneer spirit. Like, you'll go the places that other people weren't willing to go. And that's just whatever that means to you, because that can be conversations that people aren't willing to have. That can be literal, like, you might have an adventurous side to you. So that could be literally like everyone was afraid to walk down this path because it doesn't look like a lot of people have gone that way before. And I want to go that way. I want to check it out. So that could be like a part of your personality. You just want to check things out. You want to try things out. You want to see for yourself. And yeah, I think somehow that kind of ties into your life's purpose. That actually could be a big part of your life's purpose by itself, because there is kind of an adventurous spirit. So there might be a lot of experiences that you are meant to have, and you kind of need your adventurous spirit to help fuel you and push you into these uncomfortable scenarios sometimes, because it's what you're meant to do in this lifetime. And your purpose may have a lot to do with paving new paths in some way. So there might be um, something that you want to create, or to pioneer. Like we were talking about the pioneer spirit, there might be something that you feel called to create that is it's new or it's different in some way. So kind of your ability and in your natural inclination to venture into the areas that most people don't want to go is really crucial to your life's purpose and what you are here to experience and accomplish. So let's look at the tarot. Yeah, this Ace of Swords is showing up again for you. So yes, that this part of your personality that we were discussing, being maybe a little bit, maybe a little sharp in the tongue sometimes, maybe a little straightforward, maybe a little bit cutting, but it's always coming from a place of love, and it's coming from a place of truth with you. And the fact that that was highlighted as like a personality trait that was going to play into this, and then we have the Ace of Swords coming out, that's just confirmation that this part of you that wants to speak your truth, this part that wants to tell the truth. I think you're a very honest person. And some people can't appreciate that, because if they're a person who runs from the truth, you really confront them with your honest nature. So, but this part of you that wants to tell the truth is just so crucial to your overall purpose. Let's look at your oracle card. So we have this Miser card. So this card is entrepreneurial and creative ability to turn anything into gold, delight in sharing life's riches. We also have this Shadow Queen. Ooh, acquiring knowledge. Insecurity and manipulation are some of the darker aspects of that card. Let's see about this. The Great Gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits. Soul Tribe. The Royal You. And growth. Okay. I wish all of this was a little bit higher so that you could see the cards better. So I love that you got this Midas card because this card is really about having that Midas touch. It's about everything you touch come like turning to gold. So I think that you are here to experience some really great things. In some cases, maybe even something very lavish. You have the royal you here. So there's like this lavish quality. There's this extravagant quality to your energy and to your purpose here. Um, I'm just immediately drawn to the Three of Cups right when I say that. And it's like, yeah, there's a lot to celebrate in your life. So I think that one of your major purposes here is to experience all the great things that life has to offer. And I think sometimes we don't give that enough credit. Like, I think that you are a person who's had a lot of experience, and this is even maybe going back into past lives. Um, some of you may have dealt with a lot in your childhood, and that could be where that energy is coming from. But others of you, it could be even more than that. It could go deeper than that. This could be challenges that you have been facing for lifetime. So these are past life wounds that I think in this life you are meant to heal from. You are meant to grow from. And there's an element of like you really experiencing some of the finer things this time, this lifetime. And it's like all the work that you've put in is really paying off. But I'm like immediately, again, I'm drawn to all of this swords energy that came through. And I think this has so much to do with um, these past experiences that I was just talking about. I think that you can see things for what they really are. You can see the truth at the base of everything, at the root of it. You can see the root cause. You can see what needs to be talked about. You can see what needs to be looked at, what needs to be brought out into the light. It's obvious to you, and not only is it obvious, but you'll actually speak up about it. So, um, I think it's almost difficult for you to not do that because you have this experience. There is kind of this feeling of like an old soul coming through for you. You have so much experience that you are able to see things that people who haven't had quite that experience, they aren't able to see. Like you will point it out, you will shine a light on it. You shine a light in those dark places, and I think that's what was like really important about this moon card coming up. The things that are like hidden or things that people would rather keep hidden are the exact things that you'll kind of like pull out, you'll dig out, you'll highlight them, you will shine a light there. And this is really out of love, it's out of caring, it's out of a goal of healing. Um yeah, these you got some really powerful cards here. So um there is a feeling that your purpose is very unique and that it's been with you for a long time. So this life purpose might be a purpose that has sort of traveled with you um, through these past lives and into this current life now. And it's something that I think you are meant to fulfill this lifetime. And there's a lot about communication here. So there's a lot about sharing ideas and not only sharing them, but like knowledge is super important to you. Like, I don't know if I've pointed this out with all this swords energy and with this shadow queen energy, knowledge is very important. So, um, it could be that you are looking for that knowledge this lifetime, that you are going to be seeking out a lot of knowledge. So this could be actually how you spend your time. This could be an indication of how you will spend your time. You might be in some form of education or in some form of research. You might just have certain topics and certain interests that you can just dive right into, and they could have a lot to do with what your purpose is here on this earth. But also, I think that what's really being highlighted to me is that this lifetime is like a culmination of all of the knowledge that you have gathered in your past lives, and you're able to realize something very beautiful in this lifetime. I think this growth card is crucial here because it's showing that the amount of growth that you're going to be able to achieve in this life is so much more than you probably realize. And it's because you're able to put all of the knowledge together that you have gathered over lifetimes. So yes, this card here, the Great Gathering, it's all coming together. Intuitive hits, soul track. There's something about this lifetime where it's like finally all the pieces are coming together. And the funny part is, you might already notice that just with the experiences that you are aware of that you've experienced in this lifetime. It could be that there are lessons that you learned as a child or as a young adult that you are starting to now be able to implement, or that you're going to notice you're able to implement. It might have all seemed like a puzzle to you. I think in a lot of ways it has seemed like a puzzle, and this is about putting those pieces together. So definitely during this lifetime, you're going to be able to put some of those pieces together and like close out and learn some of the lessons that may have been following you around for a long time. um, that feels kind of good. That feels kind of good to say that because it feels like a relief. You have the judgment card, and judgment is all about clarity. It's about a final decision on something. It's about waking up. And you know what? It's really, this is a life purpose card, so it's super appropriate here, but it's really about waking up. So I think you're waking up to a lot of truth this lifetime, and um it's one of your main purposes to wake up to that truth, to acknowledge a lot of this truth and to bring this truth to light for others too. I really do think that there's a huge element of communication that comes with this. It's not just you knowing these things, it's about you sharing these things as well. Um, I feel like there's a part of you that almost struggled with the feeling that you were meant to do something great, or that there was something big waiting for you. Um, I feel like you've been given the gift to really see the truth when no one else recognizes it. And you may have overlooked that as a big thing that you're here to do, as a really important thing that you have to offer people. Um, I will say for some of you, because there's this theme of truth and of knowledge, there might be something that you have thought about pursuing that has to do with research or has to do with some sort of investigation or getting to the bottom of something. This could be a huge part of your purpose. It might be that you are a person who's very gifted at sifting through information and then kind of disseminating it. So that could be where that knowledge, that hunger for knowledge is coming from. But it does feel like in some way those around you are going to benefit from your thirst for knowledge, or your ability to really gather all the facts and to communicate those facts in a way that makes sense to other people. Um, I think that this life is really about growing into yourself and about welcoming that expansion, just welcoming it with open arms and celebrating it. There's a feeling of walking away from a denial of who you truly are. So this could be a lesson that's kind of followed you from lifetime to lifetime. And this is a time when you are finally closing that door and you're just stepping fully into your true self. I'm really happy to see the Great Gathering here, though. It makes me smile because, like I was saying before, it feels like this journey could have been something that felt really isolating to you at times because you are somebody who sees the truth. You're someone who's not afraid of the truth. And it could be hard for you to find people who can relate to that. So, this card, it talks about soul tribe. Um, it's an indication that you're being called to connect with those that you really resonate with at a soul level. So that's a really good sign that this won't be a lonely path for you forever. This will be something that if you haven't found these people yet, you will definitely connect with people. And this is a huge part of your life's purpose is reconnecting with these people. You have this Three of Cups here. This is all about celebration and gathering. And for me, really acknowledgement of who we are, like celebration of our individuality. Like I love this card because it makes me think of this really happy, safe place where everyone is celebrating uniqueness, celebrating special gifts, and I love that energy. So yes, if this has been a lonely path for you, don't despair because it really seems like a huge part of what you're meant to do is to connect with people who are kind of on this level. And I don't mean that to sound like your level is above anyone else's level, but it's just a matter of frequency. Like you're just meant to connect with people who are vibing with you on that frequency and people who not only see the truth for themselves, because that'll be a welcome relief for you, but also people who are willing to discuss and to challenge things and to share ideas. So I think that's something that your soul craves, and that's something you're definitely going to fulfill in this lifetime. I feel like looking at this, I can kind of tell that it's been tempting for you at times to shut everyone out because you kind of feel misunderstood and maybe even undervalued at times. So yeah, it's almost like sometimes it feels like it would be easier to just walk away from certain relationships in your life or certain connections because you end up feeling alone anyway. And it seems to me like this is something that is meant to be healed and resolved in your life. You have this Four of Wands energy, um, which is beautiful energy. It's about being at home. It's about being valued and being celebrated. It's about friends and family and that closeness. And there's a lot of that here. So connection is a huge part of your life purpose. There's a lot of this idea of connection and celebration. And really, such a clear message here with judgment kind of capping the whole thing off. Such a clear message that this is related to your life's purpose, judgment being the life purpose card. So that's really beautiful. Um, I think that this has always been important to you at your essence, at your heart. That deep connection has always been something that you wanted. Like you wanted to be able to relate to people in this way. And this is something that will be fulfilled for you in this lifetime. This is something that you are going to experience. You're going to experience that deep connection. Um, I think that I think that for you it's really about this knowledge. Like knowledge and information are big for you in this lifetime. That's a huge part of your purpose here. Either to gather information, to reveal information to others, something about having knowledge. You recognize that knowledge is power. And I think that's why you're not really afraid to look in the dark to find the truth, because you know that in the end it will make you more powerful. Whereas other people they have kind of a distorted perception about the truth. They sometimes think that confronting the truth will make them weaker, but that's not really the case. And you understand that, which is rare. Um, I think in a lot of ways you are a keeper of information, um, and that you are here to kind of filter out higher truths and wisdom. So I'm not sure if you even realize where some of the knowledge that you have comes from, but it does feel like there's kind of a divine guidance at play here. Um, and definitely an entrepreneurial spirit. So I'll just throw that in before we kind of wrap this up. I'll just throw in that your life purpose could have a lot to do with you branching out on your own and doing something that is a little bit um it's not that it's so different or off the beaten path. I don't really get that feeling. I actually get the feeling that it's just something that like that something that no one's doing, or you're going to do something in a way that no one's doing it. So it doesn't even have to be like a reinvention of the wheel. It doesn't feel like it feels like it's just that your creativity and the way that you view things is so unique that you might not be able to fit in a box. You might not want to fit in a box. So it wouldn't surprise me if you do have this entrepreneurial spirit about you. And I'm noticing here too that this card, the Royal Youth, card number 16, and then we have the Shadow Queen, card number 16 as well. So definitely a repeating message to you. 16 may be a significant number to you. It could even maybe be your age or the age that something really crucial happened in your life, and maybe your life purpose was revealed to you at that moment. But if we look at this in terms of numerology, we can reduce that down to a 7, and sevens are about discovery. So I think that paired with this idea of knowledge, there's something here. Your life's purpose really revolves around a lot of you gaining knowledge and you discovering a lot. And this can be a lot to do with self-discovery. This can be about discovering the truth. And I think this also might be that this is a really important lifetime for the evolution that your soul is going through for that journey, because it kind of feels like this is a lifetime where you're able to put those pieces together, where you're able to discover why you learned the lessons that you did, how it all plays in, and who you truly are at a soul level, and get to a place where you can be celebrating that. I do think that you are meant to experience some really beautiful things because of this Midas card. I mean, along with some other things here too, like this Royal U card. But yeah, it's like whatever you do is going to be successful in this lifetime. Everything that you touch turns to gold. So there's a lot here. There's a lot here, and I think you're meant to do a lot. I think you're meant to share a lot. You're meant to enlighten those around you and kind of share this information that you've gained. So yeah, I think I will leave it there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for letting me read your cards. If you liked this reading, if it resonated with you, don't forget to like it, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button. And I will hopefully see you again really soon in another reading. Bye. Hi, number 2, if you picked the chalice, this is going to be your reading. We're going to find out all about your life's purpose. So before we jump into the bulk of the reading, I actually wanted to take a look at a personality trait of yours. So I asked Spirit to kind of highlight to me what part of your personality is going to play into your life's purpose the most. What part of your personality might you use, or what part even could be a hindrance in you realizing your ultimate mission here and fulfilling your life's purpose. So let's go ahead and look at your cards and find out what part of your personality is going to play into this. And I'll just move that off to the side. So we have stillness. It's a beautiful card. Very, very mystical energy. We have the King of Wands in reverse, and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. There's kind of a clear message coming through with that Nine of Pentacles, because I feel like the Nine of Pentacles is a really good card to kind of represent fulfillment. And we're talking about life's purpose and fulfilling that. So this can be a really good indication of that fulfillment, or it can be highlighting kind of a direction or element of your personality that's going to help you to realize that. So let's look at this stillness card. What I see right away is there's a very introverted side to your personality, and it might not be obvious to you that this is one of your greatest strengths. I feel like this can work a lot of different ways depending on exactly how this falls into like the overall you, like how this fits into your personality. You might be someone who is obviously introverted and you have viewed it as a weakness, or you might be someone who has like a part of you that's introverted. And again, even though you don't operate from that place all the time, you might think that there's no there's no room for that, or that you should get out there more. You should put yourself out there. And I think what Spirit is highlighting to me here is that this is actually one of your strengths. So if ever there's a time when you're thinking, I should be more bold, or I should be more expressive, or I should socialize more, it's not that you shouldn't do these things, but it's really that there is a lot of strength um, in this introverted side of you as well. There's something really beautiful for you to notice and for you to look at and grow with about this introverted side. So I think that what you have that you might not realize is you have the ability to really sit still and to sit quietly with yourself. And when you get quiet enough, you're able to tap into what is really true in your heart. And that's something that a lot of people can't do. A lot of people are caught up in the hustle and bustle of life. They're caught up in impressing other people. They're caught up in appearing in a certain way. And you that's not you. You're more concerned with operating from your truest essence than you are like putting on a mask and making people see you a certain way that might not be true and authentic. So this ability that you have to really be comfortable with yourself, to be comfortable spending time with yourself, is something that a lot of people don't have. And for whatever reason, Spirit has highlighted this as something that's going to be crucial in you realizing your life's purpose and you fulfilling your life's purpose. And this could actually even be a huge part of what your life's purpose is. Maybe for you to learn this lesson, maybe you have already accomplished this and you are well on your way to like fulfilling this purpose that you came here for, because this could be something that you already excel at. I'm picking up on the fact that for a lot of you, that's true. You already excel at this. You've already learned this about yourself. You have already accepted this about yourself, and you have learned how to appreciate this about yourself. You've learned that this is a crucial part to the whole makeup of you and how you move through this world. So what I'm really getting from this King of Wands in reverse, I can just see that you're not the type of person that requires like the approval of other people. And sometimes, I guess, not even the support of other people. I think that's something that we all would love to have, is support. I think there's another word I'm looking for that I can't quite land on, but it's like you don't need everyone to jump on your bandwagon in order for it to be right for you. Like if you want to go off in this certain direction and you can feel that that's right for you because you took the time to tap into what's going on inside, you don't need everyone else to join you. Like you don't have to have a crowd of people behind you in order for it to be worthwhile. You don't have to have everyone sign off on it and everyone think the way that you do, or believe what you believe, or anything like that. It's not a requirement for you to live authentically and for you to live as your true self. So this takes a lot of strength of character. You are a person who listens to your heart and you do what really makes you happy, even if it's not the popular thing, even if it's the weird thing, even if it sets you apart completely, which I think you might be used to this idea of being set apart completely because you are comfortable in your own space and spending time in your own company. You're comfortable there. So you might have already come to terms with the fact that you are set apart. This is sort of a recurring theme, and I feel like this is a message for somebody that you actually are set apart. There's something really unique about you. I feel like for a lot of you, this could have been the exact stuff that you thought was like the stuff that you didn't like about yourself, the stuff that you thought made you too different, made you too weird, made you unacceptable in some way, maybe even unlovable. These are the things now that are being highlighted as your greatest strengths. And some of this strength of character is coming up as something that you really need this lifetime, something that you're going to lean on a lot. Um, it feels to me like you operate from this place of really quiet strength. That's how I would put it, quiet strength. It's not loud and boisterous. It doesn't need a big show. It doesn't need a big like a crowd or a parade of any sort. You just kind of move through very gracefully and you follow your own inner guidance and your own intuition. And that's going to be important in you realizing your life's purpose. In fact, I think that that's a huge part of your life's purpose. So when I was pulling these cards and asking Spirit to highlight this, I didn't know if this is going to tie in directly with the life's purpose message. But then as I look at these cards, it's like, I think that a lot of these personality traits are things that you are meant to do, have, and experience in this lifetime, which means they're a huge part of your life's purpose. So, yeah, I'm kind of just swimming around in this peaceful warrior type of um, energy here, because that's the vibe that I get from you. You don't try to force anything, and you don't try to force anyone, but you do what's right for you, and you're in touch with what that even means, which some people are not. You're in touch with what that means. So I think in a lot of ways, you are a huge inspiration, and it might not be something that people tell you. It might not be a discussion that you have with people because you do kind of like just exude this energy of peace. And it's like you're at peace with who you are, but I do think you're inspiring people because you're able to tap into what will be fulfilling for you. And like your friends, your family members, they look at you as someone who really has accomplished a lot. Like someone who is doing what's true to them, which is a huge accomplishment. Like it's something that a lot of people never reach in their lifetime. So I feel like a lot of you could have that feeling of like, I'm behind, I haven't achieved enough, I haven't accomplished. But what I'm seeing here is that being true to yourself is an accomplishment that most people cannot manage, and you have managed it, even if you are still fairly young. So I think that there's a lot that, like, it's impressive to people in ways that you might not realize. You, I see you as someone who's deeply thoughtful, and there's a really strong independent energy to your personality too, and that just tells me you definitely follow that inner guidance system. You don't need anyone else. Like you want the connection. Um, we all do, but you don't need anyone because you're not dependent on other people's ideas, on other people's um I want to say, let me think of how to say this. Some people just don't know really how to operate on their own. They have to know like what everyone thinks about a certain thing before they can make a move. They have to know if everyone's on board. They have to know if it's the popular thing to do. They have to know if it's like how it's going to be viewed by other people, and will it be seen as great, or before they can decide anything. And it's like for you have decided. You decide on your own. You are very strong in that way. So I'm going to pull some tarot for you, and then we'll get into your oracle cards and we'll look at your life's purpose. I'm just going to leave this card here because the camera's going to freak out if I don't have a card there. So while I've shuffled this deck, we'll just let that still discard sit there. It is really beautiful, so yours to look at anyway. Okay, let's see. Oh, goodness. We got a card come flying out already. So we have the Eight of Swords come out. Let's see. Number 2's life purpose. The Moon. I feel like a lot of you could be kind of like a night owl in a lot of ways. You might find that you feel more inspired in the evening hours, in midnight hours. I'm also kind of getting an insomnia vibe from that, so it could be that you can't sleep, but I think that kind of the blessing in disguise with that, if you have a really hard time sleeping, is that you have your best ideas and you're the most inspired during um, during the nighttime. So whoever that resonated for. We have the Page of Pentacles. That's a lot of. Ooh, the 2 Cups. The Page of Swords. The Tower. And then let's get the bottom of the deck. We have the King of Swords. Oh, wow. There's a lot of evolution for you, and maybe even a lot of evolution that you've already gone through in your life so far. I want to get your oracle cards out, and then we will look at the entire spread together. So I have this Saboteur card. This card really talks about highlighting your fears of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life as the light attribute. And then the shadow is really talking about self-destructive behavior. Let me move all of this up. Okay, let's see. We have the Eagle King of the Moon. Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. This is about deep healing, willing release, a lot of healing here, a lot of healing and imagination. I feel like a lot of you may have gone through a lot of healing in your life to reach this point. We were talking about this like security that you have reached. You've reached this place of being very secure in yourself. If you're not quite there yet, because this is a general reading, so a lot of this energy is sort of collective energy, and if you aren't quite there yet, don't worry about that. Do not stress about that, because we're looking at the path that you are going to follow. And what I see is that you are going to reach this place of, like this card said, of stillness. There's a place of acceptance. There's a place of security that you are reaching for. So a lot of this growth that I'm seeing here and this really big transformation that you have done or that you are working on has to do with you being able to sit in that place of stillness. It has to do with you being able to love and accept yourself for exactly who you are and to know that your inner guidance system is better than any outside source could ever be. Like you doing what's right for you and you alone is better than anything else. And I think that this is a huge part of your life's purpose, because in order for you to realize it, you're going to have to follow that intuitive part of yourself. You're going to have to go within and really find that, listen to that voice. So this could be something that's a little bit hard for you at first or at times throughout your journey. You had the Eight of Swords come out, and I do think that there's this element of feeling kind of trapped. This could be at times feeling trapped in your own thoughts, feeling trapped in your own head, feeling isolated. We were kind of talking about this idea of you spending time in your own company. And that could be something that you viewed as a curse at one point, and now you realize that it's a blessing and that it's actually a strength of yours. So for some of you, that is something that you are working through or have left in the past. The first thing that really jumps out to me is your connection with the divine. It's strong. This lifetime for you is meant to be led by divinity. And your life purpose really revolves around some sort of creative process that's very unique to you. That was coming through early with this, like this moon energy was really showing me that there's some unconventional way or time that you do something. Like if you are a very creative person, you might have your bursts of inspiration at interesting times. And what I wanted to say is that, again, inopportune times, because I think it's felt like that for you at times. And this can be maybe before you kind of figure out your rhythm, your flow, your vibe, how you, like what your process is. I think that maybe it's like it's happening at an inopportune time. Like it's happening in the middle of the night and I should be sleeping, but instead I have all of these ideas or I want to create something. Um, there's definitely something strong here about creation being a part of your life's purpose. So I'm guessing that you are a very, very creative soul with this imagination card. There's something very creative about you, and you are meant to create. You're meant to share these gifts with the world in whatever way it is that you do that. You're meant for really deep connection too. To a cup's energy, you're meant for very deep connection. Um, I think that in a lot of ways, you're here to imagine new ways of doing things. You're here to break the mold and to kind of be a catalyst for huge change. And that's kind of like no matter where you go, the energy of change follows you. And I think that that has a lot to do with the amount of evolving and growing that you have already done in your lifetime. But there's this energy of change. It's like you effortlessly shift from one thing or one aspect of your personality to the next. Um, you have the gift of being able to imagine ways that things could be accomplished and better ways that things could be accomplished. I think in a lot of ways you kind of streamline things. You're able to see the bigger picture with this Eagle King. You're able to kind of like zoom out and see the big picture. Whereas most people get stuck in the minute details of things, they can lose sight of the ultimate goal. You're someone who can seek out that goal. You can see the goal, and you can also change things really easily. There's kind of like the quality of an alchemist here. So part of your life purpose might be some form of energy manipulation, and that's not to sound that sounds a little bit negative for some reason, but no, not negative. I think that you just have the ability to kind of um to to affect the energy around you and to help it to flow more easily. That's kind of the vibe I get from you. Like things flow easily when they are around you, when they come your into your experience, into your realm, things will start to flow. So I think that because there's this part of you that can really recharge when you are alone, when you're kind of in your own company, quiet time and relaxation is really important for you. It's something that you're meant to have because I'm getting that this creative process is sort of dependent on that in a lot of ways. It really happens in these sort of darker moments or these alone moments, these quiet moments. It really happens there. What I love about your energy that I'm kind of picking up on is there's a real practicality to your energy, but there's also this really really divine element, this strong connection to the divine. Um, there's something about this that makes you kind of exhibit a bit of fearlessness because it's like you look changed right in the face, you look changed right in the eyes, and you're like, bring it on, bring it on. So I really think you're somebody who has evolved a lot. And it's like you did some of this is learned because you had to, like you had to know how to pick up the pieces. You had the tower card come out. You've obviously been through um some some sort of upheaval in your life, but you emerge as the king of swords. And that's not something that everyone can do. You emerge as somebody who has a lot of clarity, who can see things for what they really are. Um, you challenge your fears. And if that's something that you feel like called to share with other people, that's a huge part of your purpose, whether that's just something that's going on internally with you or if it's something that is shared with others. You you have the ability to squash fear. And I think that this could be a huge lesson that you're here to learn. So, this could be a huge part of your life's purpose, moving past this place of fear that could have left you feeling really paralyzed in the past. But your imagination is your greatest ally when it comes to this. You can imagine your way out of things. You're here to do that. You're here to be an innovator. You're here to see ways out where other people really don't, really can't. It's really hard for them to see things in this unique way that you do. So your imagination kind of combined with that unique way that you view things, um, it's an energy of transformation, and that can be that you transform other people. That can be that you transform processes. It's pretty much everything you come in contact with, you are meant to transform. I think that you help other people really realize their value and realize their worth. Um, I think that you also help people to realize the areas where they may be self-sabotaging. And really, all of this feels like it's coming from a place of like, these are lessons that you learned. These are things that you looked deep within and found, and you're now able to bring this to other people. You're now able to share this message with other people. And there's deep connections formed here with the Two of Cups, very deep connections. You're meant to connect with people. You're meant to help people transform. So you likely connect with people on a really soul level, on a heart level. I feel that energy from you. I feel like you have a way of really tapping into the true essence. And I can kind of see you like this isn't so much about career, but there is something about your energy that's like I see you being I see you guiding or counseling people because you have a way of looking at the big picture and kind of figuring out how to get how to get to that goal, how to reach that level, how to get from point A to point B. You can see that in a way that most people cannot. Um, you show you kind of show people how to step into that willingness to change things, that willingness to grow. So yeah, and also this really grounded energy is coming through. I feel like you have a good mixture of energy going on with you. You have a lot of knowledge and a lot of mental clarity. But the emotional part isn't lost on you. You chose the chalice, and we also have the moon card, really watery energy. I'm sorry, number two, the camera cut out. So we were talking about this watery energy that comes through for you. So you could be a water sign. You could be a Cancer, a Pisces, or a Scorpio, and that could be something that's really important to the fulfillment of your life's purpose. Because being able to tap into that emotional body, I think is really important to the work that you're going to do in the world and to the transformation that you make, and also to helping other people to transform because I think you're a person who, whether or not you had those water placements, I think you're a person who really acknowledges and knows how to process through emotions quite well. And it's like you bring this balanced energy, you bring a lot of clarity to a deep pool of emotion, which a lot of times can be really challenging for people to do. It's really hard to bring logic and clarity to something as illogical as emotions, but there's something about the way that you process emotions through that you process them through the emotional body in a way that is very I want to say diligent, which is a very odd word to come to mind, but there's something very efficient about it, and there's something almost effortless about it. So this is definitely something that you can help other people do. Um, so that could be an indication of something that you're here to do. This could be your life's work. You could be connecting with people on a very deep emotional level and helping them to to transform, helping them to find their higher and most evolved self, which is a funny thing to come through when we're talking about life, your life's purpose. It's almost like for a lot of you, you help other people to realize theirs, and that's a huge reason that you're here. Like something you're meant to accomplish and something you're meant to experience here is this this assistance of other people, helping them to kind of attain this certain amount of enlightenment, you could call it, something that you're able to do and able to exhibit. And really just something that I mean, you have just shown this so strongly here. I'm looking at this page of Pentacles and I'm looking at the page of Swords. These things just being highlighted as some of your greatest assets here. Your groundedness and your practicality combined with your clarity of thought is so key. And I think that has to do with kind of going back and forth between this big picture view and this kind of more zoomed in view. This is something that you're great at. And it's like you can go off and you can explore all of the big ideas, you can see the big picture, and you can also come back down to earth and get to work. And I think this is a huge part of your purpose. This is a huge part of your giftings. And this is a huge blessing that you kind of bestow on everyone around you because you've got some really almost opposite parts of your personality at play all the time, and that's not by accident. This is part of your purpose. This is part of why you're here. It's to explore both of those sides to figure out how to put them together and how it's really useful for you and for other people, because I do think that there's a big part of you that wants to imagine ways for other people to realize their dreams as well. There's a big part of you that's very giving and that wants to share of these experiences that you've had, that wants to make the most out of the experiences that you have had. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there. This reading is getting pretty long. I've been very long-winded today. So yes, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for letting me read your cards. I absolutely love doing this, and I want to thank you guys for giving me the opportunity. If you liked this video, if these messages resonated with you, don't forget to like it, leave me a comment down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can hang out with me again. And hopefully I will see you again really soon in another reading. Bye! Hi, number 3, if you picked the mirror, this is going to be your reading. We're going to look at what your life's purpose is. Before we get into the bulk of the reading, I wanted to look at some elements of your personality. I wanted to see what kind of parts of you, what pieces of your personality are going to play into you realizing your life purpose. So these can even be things that might be a hindrance to you realizing. And I just asked Spirit to kind of highlight a really important part of your personality that was going to give us some insight into kind of how this will play in with your bigger life's purpose. So let me just move your card off to the side and let's see what we have. So we have flexibility. Okay. We have the Knight of Cups to clarify that, along with Judgment. Judgment showed up in one of the other piles, not in this portion of the reading, but it showed up, I think, in reading 1. And what's interesting about the Judgment card showing up in this type of reading at all is that the Judgment card is really, for me, a life purpose card. Like, it's about ultimate fulfillment. It's about clarity. It's about kind of reaching conclusions or final decisions on things. So this is really a card that always points to life purpose, arenas of life to me. So it's just interesting for it to come out, but I think it brings a lot of clarity here. Um, the first thing I'll say is that there is a real adaptability about your personality, and it's gotten you through some really tough times. Um, I think that the fact that you have been able to maintain a generous, kind-hearted spirit is really just a testament not only to how strong and resilient you are, but also to the nature of your heart at its deepest essence. You are very, very pure-hearted. You are the type of person who you strive to make the right choice, like to do the right thing at all times, even if no one's paying attention. And I think that this is coming from someone um who hasn't always been treated fairly. So to observe that in you is very impressive because a lot of times we can fall into the trap of letting the world harden us. We can fall into the trap of wanting to give it back as good as we got it in a lot of ways. Like if someone has betrayed us, if someone has done us wrong, talked behind our backs, not given us the love that we deserve or the recognition that we deserve, it can be really easy to fall into the trap of wanting to like to kind of pay that forward rather than live in our truth, which is love. And I think that you're a person that has been able to maintain that place, that space of love, even in the face of some difficult things, even in the face of some disappointments and some tragedies and some stuff that honestly just doesn't feel very fair. That's kind of the feeling that I'm getting, and it could apply to so many things, but it's like it just doesn't feel fair. It feels sometimes like you were just dealt um a challenging hand, and like you can see how things wouldn't have been so hard for you had you not had to overcome these certain things in your life. It could be a difficult childhood. It could be struggles with your health. It could be unfair treatment from those closest to you. It can be any number of things, but it's like in a lot of ways, it just doesn't feel fair. It just doesn't feel like you deserved it. It doesn't feel like you signed up for it, but like it's been the experience nonetheless. What I like about this is I don't like that you've been treated that way. I don't like that at times things have been difficult. I don't like that you had to overcome stuff, but what I do like is it has made you so much stronger. It has made you so versatile. I would say it's made you like, um, it's made you be able to relate to so many things that you wouldn't have been able to relate to otherwise. And it's also the miracle in it is that your heart has remained pure through all of this. It's very, very impressive. I think for a lot of you, it could be almost a feeling of like, I don't have any other choice. Like, if someone says that it's impressive that you've been able to maintain your pure heart through everything that you've been through, you might have the feeling like, well, I didn't have any choice because I just have to be me. I just have to be who I am. And that's just who I am. But really, you did have a choice. You had a choice. You could have gone dark. You could have gone hard. You could have gone um, jaded, and you've made the choice to maintain your pure heart and to still keep a loving energy around you and about you, and to let love flow through you. And you're brave as hell because after some of the hurt that you've been through, to still even be willing to offer your heart, to offer kindness, to offer gentleness is a really brave thing to do. I think that loving and being loved is something that is very important to you, and you're the type of person that never wants anyone in the world to feel forgotten or feel disregarded, and that could have a lot to do with your experiences. So it's really important for you that people feel included, that people feel seen and heard, and that people always know that there's someone there that cares for them. So I think you are a very generous and giving soul. You're the type of person that would notice that somebody is being left out or feeling down and try to do something to uplift that person. And most people honestly wouldn't do that. So it's a beautiful part of your personality. And it's actually strengthened your capacity for love. Like you have an even greater capacity because of what you've gone through. You're the type of person that really acts from a place of integrity all the time. Like I was saying before, even when people aren't watching, even when no one's going to know if you did the right thing or not, you will choose the high road. And I mean, that can weigh on you a lot. Like, this could be something that's difficult at times. It could be things that's something that's frustrating for you at times because it can feel like other people who take the shortcut time and time again get ahead. And it's like, why when they're clearly doing the wrong thing? But it doesn't, like, you don't allow that to sway you. So there's so much strength here. I also feel like because of this adaptability, you are really good at reimagining things. So um I think even if your way of thinking falls outside of the norm, you're still open-minded enough to like to explore all of the places that your heart takes you, even if it's like uncomfortable sometimes or it can be viewed as a little bit weird sometimes. You're you're open-minded enough, you're flexible in your mind enough to allow it to go to these places that might not be conventional. It might not be normal. It might be a little bit different, but you're okay with that. I think that there is a part of you that brings kind of that loving energy to yourself. I'm hoping that that's true because you do exhibit such a loving energy outwardly. I'm hoping that you've reached a place where you're able to turn that loving energy in on yourself and really love and accept yourself for who you are. And I think that if this isn't a place you've reached, this is definitely part of your purpose here because just because you have experienced some unpleasant things, it would be really easy to see yourself as unworthy of love and unworthy of accomplishment, unworthy of great things in your life. And none of that's true. So this is either something that you have worked on or something that you will be working on, but it really seems like this is a huge part of your purpose here is to kind of extend that cup, this cup that then the knight has, extend that unconditional love that you so willingly give to others. Extending that to yourself is a huge part of your evolution here in this lifetime. So that's kind of the stuff that Spirit wanted to highlight. We'll see how that plays in. I can already see how this would be useful because again, the flexibility, the adaptability, that can make you good at so many things. But I want to look at your tarot. So let's see. I'm getting the feeling that it's like you really don't let society or any other pressures force you into, sorry, you guys, I kicked the camera, force you into like portraying yourself as anything other than your full self, your full truth. And that has a lot to do with this, the way you've been able to maintain your purity of heart through all of life's challenges. Um, it just says a lot. It really does say a lot. And you're kind of just on your own path. And I have to say, your path looks really good. Like, your path is the high road. The the other way that people will tend to go with things, or the way that they can become hateful and just like spread hate and try to pay people back for the hurts that they've inflicted on them, that's really not the high road ever. It's not cute. And I feel like I feel like although this is hard, this path that you travel is hard at times, it's so worth it for you, for your soul. It's so worth it for your purpose here. So it's actually important that you continue to make these decisions, because you won't be at peace if you sacrifice pieces of yourself. You'll just never be at peace with that. You'll never be happy with that. Let's get your tarot out here. So we have the Queen of Swords. Oh. Three of Pentacles. Wow. The Sun. Your cards are coming out any way they can get out. They're jumping out. Want to get a couple more hearts for you. There we go. Eight of Pentacles, the Moon making another appearance. I think the Moon made an appearance in reading 2. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Wands. I'm going to pull your oracle cards out, and then, we'll talk about it. So let's see what we have here. We have Gambler. Ooh. Yeah, I want to talk about that. The Diamond Dreamer. Soul Family. Love it. Sacred Reverence. And Love. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me put this card over here. That was your bottom of the deck energy. Yeah, there's definitely conflict at play here at times for you, or there has been in the past. With that Five of Wands coming out, it can be a bit of a conflict for you to live in your authentic truth. It can be hard. It's almost like the whole world is moving in one direction, or moving with one current of energy, and you're going against the grain all the time. That's what it can feel like for you sometimes. Like you're trying to travel upstream, and everyone else is just kicking back and just letting the water take them wherever it wants to. And it's like you're not going to go with the flow if it's not your flow, which is very admirable. It can be a conflict sometimes, though. What I love about this is you're a risk taker. You were made to be a risk taker. And the thing about this being such a conflict for you, the thing about you choosing to love in the face of hate, is that you're taking the biggest risk ever, and you're doing it every day, and you don't even acknowledge it because it just comes so naturally to you. But this is where you find your greatest power, your greatest purpose, is in this energy of love. Even if it's very risky for you to love, if it's very risky for you to, like we were talking about with this Knight of Cups, this is a risk. This is potentially a risk to ride up on a horse offering a cup of love. This is potentially a huge risk. Her heart might as well be in that cup. But it's like these are the kind of risks that you are willing to take. You're willing to do something different. You're willing to say things sometimes that are challenging. I feel like your capacity to love and to care for others, and the way that you're willing to put your heart on the line and open up the deepest parts of yourselves to of yourself who to those that are around you, I feel like that is a risk. I feel like that that kind of exhibits this gambler spirit of yours. It's so risky to be the way that you are. It's so risky to be that pure energy, to be that loving energy in, I want to say, like in the murky waters. That's like the imagery that's coming to me. It's like you're this beautiful shining diamond, maybe beautiful shining diamond in this muddy water at times. Like it can feel like that. It can feel like you're this one bright spot. You are exhibiting this energy of the sun, this hopeful energy, and it's a rare energy and it's a risky energy. Especially when we have those around us that would rather see us fail. It's a risky place to be. Um, I think a huge part of your life purpose is it's this love. It's this love. Look at this card here. The heart imagery that's repeated at the top and then here with the hands at the bottom. It's repeated, and we have love here on the other end. It's this really loving energy that is your purpose, to love and to be loved, to be this point of connection, because really this energy that you're allowing to flow through you is the purest form of energy. It is it's source energy at its finest. It's source energy at its purest, because source energy is this energy of love. And this is what you're letting flow through you all the time. It's a huge part. It's a huge part of it for you. I feel like romantic love is something that is going to play a big part in your purpose. But this does not have to just be about romantic love. So this is about deep friendships. It's about connection with other humans, period. It can also be actually connection with animals. So this might be something you felt called to, a deep connection with animals, or the need or the desire to care for animals could be a huge theme for you and something that you're meant to experience and achieve in this lifetime. So that wouldn't surprise me at all. Your kind of pure heart, it just goes well with the energy that animals kind of exude. It's a very pure energy, and that matches yours nicely. I think because of this special way that you're able to connect to others, you have the ability to almost view people at a very soul level. So you really see the truth of them, you see the essence of them, you see what's in their heart. Um, in a lot of ways, one of the major purposes of your life is to form really deep connections and to continue to be that conduit of love on the planet. I feel like a lot of you are already doing a huge part of your purpose. This isn't something that you even need to discover, maybe not even anything you need to be told, because it comes so naturally to you. And I feel like this isn't something that you ever stopped doing. It may have been challenging at times, but it's not something that you stopped doing. You had Eight of Pentacles come out. There's like a work ethic behind everything that you do. There's a devotion to everything that you do, and it shows me that you're going to have a lot of success. But not only that, it shows me that you've never really stopped being your true self. You've never stopped exploring your true purpose. And I think what that is that you kind of act as the sun for everyone around you. You act as this really beautiful, hopeful, bright, and optimistic point of light for everyone around you. And you've never stopped being that. Like, it hasn't mattered what's going on in your life. You've never stopped being that. Um, for some reason, what's really being highlighted is that the concepts of like inclusion and acceptance are really important for you in this lifetime. So I think that this could have to do either with like you feeling like you were excluded and wanting to be accepted, and now this is something that you want to kind of facilitate for other people. Very, very loving energy. That's the main thing that's coming through for you. You are here to love and to be loved, to experience love, to let love flow through you, to raise the vibration on the planet as a whole by being yourself, by being that loving energy. Um, but yeah, it's really important for you that everyone is included. It's really important that people are seen for what they are, who they are, and what they have to bring to the table, valued for all of the gifts that they have and all of their uniqueness. Um, yeah, inclusion is very important. I can see you being some sort of activist, especially with that Five of Wands bottom of the deck energy. There is a part of you that will fight, and it's really beautiful because you're coming from such a loving place. But I feel like when it comes to standing up for people, fighting for the rights of others, maybe people who are forgotten, people who are excluded, people who are looked down upon, you are that person that will step up and fight for people to be treated equally and for people to be treated fairly. And you do this from a place of love. So that could be a big part of your purpose here. And you're really going to help a lot of people. I feel like no matter which way you individually choose to go with this, you're going to help a lot of people because this loving energy that flows through you is such a beautiful force. Even just that alone is going to really raise the stakes. I feel like saying it. It feels like it just like you're just kind of up leveling everything everywhere that you go. You may be some sort of activist, or that might be something that's close to your heart because you don't want to see anyone be treated less than for no reason at all. If that's something important to you, you have really the type of mental fluidity that sees the best in people. Like you're able to see people's points of view. You're able to understand where they're coming from because you really connect with them on such a heart level. And you're able to understand concepts. You're able to speak about concepts that can be overwhelming to other people. And really, no matter what challenges somebody has, you're always able to see them for who they are, see them for the truth. I feel like you're also really a person that just sees beauty in everything, anything and everything. And of course, that means everybody. So um, you find the unique attributes about a person. This really this could have to do, like, you might be really gifted at, like making people more beautiful, like you know how to highlight people's natural gifts or um their natural beautiful features. Sorry, we've got somebody going by. There's some loud music. That could have something to do with it. Like you know how to dress somebody or how to put them together, that really highlights their uniqueness. It could also be something not so material. It could be that you can just recognize the best in people and you know how to bring that out of them. So if that kind of triggers something for you in terms of what you might want to do with your life, career-wise, or how you want to spend a lot of your time, this is something that's coming through as a real gift of yours, and it could be a large part of your purpose. You're able to identify the best attributes in a person, both personality wise and appearance wise. Like you can see exactly what they're gifted at, exactly what they'd be good at, exactly what would make them shine, sparkle, stand out. And you are a person who celebrates that in people rather than trying to squash it. A lot of people, they see something special in someone and they become insecure and they just want to minimize whatever that gift was as much as they can. That's not you at all. You are a person who recognizes and celebrates people for exactly who they are. Um, I will say that there are definite clues here that you are meant to experience a really opulent lifestyle. Um, you're definitely a big dreamer. And that kind of ties into this gambler card, this risk-taking idea. You're willing to do the work, but you will dream big, which means that there's a lot of blessings coming your way, and that looks different for everybody. So for some people, this could be about material wealth. Um, you definitely have indications of that with the Diamond Dreamer. This gambler, like you're willing to take the risk, you're willing to go big or go home when it comes to things that you believe in. And I think that that's going to pay off for you in a material way. So I do think that you are meant to experience a lot of abundance in your lifetime, that you are meant to grow in this way, and you're meant to really feel that the world has a lot to offer and to experience it, whatever that means for you. Some of us want all of the lavish luxe things, and others want a more simple life. So, whatever feels abundant to you, whatever feels like your idea of prosperity and wealth, that is what you're meant to experience. Um, you were really born to take chances and to take those risks that most people are afraid of. And you were born to shoot for the stars. You had the moon come out, the sun and the moon. So definitely some kind of indication. I want to go back to this mirror card that you chose. Hold on. There's some kind of like astral energy here. And even in the mirror, like what do we see? What do we see? We see this like these heavenly bodies. So there's really this divinity that's flowing through you, and there's some kind of divine connection that's really important to your purpose here. Um, I really feel like there is a message kind of coming through with that sun and moon. There's something that's very dedicated about you, very, very dedicated. We have this eight of pentacles right between the sun and the moon, and this is about the work. This is about the hard work. I think you are meant to work hard, but not. I'm not saying like, oh, you're meant to just work day and night and work yourself to the bone. It's not that at all. It's more you feel so passionate about whatever you do that this is kind of the energy that you exhibit. You will work all day and night at something that you love, at something that lights you up. When it comes to caring for people, you will work at it all day and night. You will work at it from sun up to sundown, and there's just this dedicated energy. It's a real strength of yours. I think to others, like it can look like you are wanting to like take a lot of risks sometimes, or that it could seem like you want the payoff without the work, but I can see that that's not true at all. Like, no, you are willing to do the work. So I think that whatever it is that you're here to experience, and again, I get the feeling that my pile threes are the ones that have a really good idea of what their life purpose is before they ever clicked on this video. And I think that says a lot, and it has a lot to do with this dedicated nature of yours. You are dedicated to this. You are dedicated um to maintaining your truth and yourself through all aspects of life, through all the challenges, through all the ups and downs. You're dedicated to staying true to your heart. And what this shows me is the payoff for that is real. The payoff for that, I think there's a lot of abundance that's going to flow into your life, and that you were really meant for that. And also, you have this soul family card. So the payoff here is really finding that deep connection with people. Three of Pentacles really makes me kind of tap into that energy of working together, of valuing each other, of seeing all of the best in the people who are close to you. And this is really important when we're talking about soul tribe. This talks about deep connection that you're going to form with people. This is a deep, loving connection. This is love pouring into your life from all directions. You were meant for that. You were meant to experience that. You were meant to have these deep and meaningful connections in your life. And if that's something that you feel like has not been a part of your experience so far, this looks very, very promising for that. It's just a matter of kind of like working through this. It's just a matter of getting to that place where you can call in your soul family. Because, like the card says, you don't have to do it alone. And it's a very, very important message because it can feel like you're alone. Like I was saying, it can feel like you're going kind of against the current a lot. And once you tap into this place and you connect with these people and you're able to experience this deep love, you're not going to feel like that anymore because you've got other people with you. You've got this support system, almost like you've got this life raft, and it will serve you well. I will just say that it will serve you well. You are meant to experience the finer things of life. So I think I will leave it there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and letting me read your cards. If you liked the video, if any of these messages resonated with you, don't forget to like it, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button if you feel like doing it. And I will hopefully see you again really soon in another reading. Bye. Hi, number 4, if you picked the crown, this is going to be your reading. We're going to find out all about your life purpose. We're going to find out what you are meant to experience, do, have, evolve into during this lifetime. Before we get into the bulk of the reading, I wanted to look at just one element of your personality, or I guess it could be several elements of your personality depending on what we have here. What I did was ask Spirit to kind of highlight a piece of your personality that's going to play a key role in you realizing your life purpose, in you kind of fulfilling your life's purpose, or what might be a hindrance, what might be helpful. So we'll just see what comes out. So let's see what you have. You have release. And to clarify that, we have the Page of Cups and the Queen of Swords. Okay. What I'm seeing about you is like you're a person who wears a lot of hats. There's a lot there are several different facets of your personality. I think sometimes it's even hard for you to know which parts of you to pursue. I think you're a person who maybe has been left questioning, like, am I on the right path? Is this the right direction for me? And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that you have so many options. If you are a person that's been told a lot, like that you're great at a variety of things, or it might not even be that it's a variety of things. It could be like two things, but they could be things that are completely opposite of each other. Like you could be, on one hand, super analytical and like scientific, and on the other hand, such an artist, and you don't know which direction to go in. I could see that for a lot of you, but really it's like you can play so many different roles. For some reason, when I'm saying this, I'm actually getting the image of like someone putting on a play, putting on some sort of performance, and literally playing every part in the play. That's you. It's like you really could do it. Like some people wouldn't be able to be cast as any of the roles in the play. They would fail at it. They would be miserable at it. They wouldn't be able to play the part. They wouldn't be able to remember the lines. They wouldn't be able to do whatever it took to wear all those hats. But you're a person who can, and because you're able to wear all those hats, I think sometimes you don't know which one you like the best. It makes it harder. It's like you have so many options, but it can at times feel harder to. I just got so distracted because I looked over at your card and realized you picked crown, and we're talking about wearing a variety of hats. So this could be one of the hats that you wear. Yeah, I got super distracted there. I'm sorry. let me try to get back on track there. I'm not sure if I'll be able to recover whatever I was about to say, but um, it's almost harder for you because you have the ability to do so many different things. You have the ability to play so many different roles. You have the ability to be great at it. And that's not something that a lot of people possess. So it can be harder for you, someone who has so many options, than someone who really only has one option. Um, some people, they're like, well, I'm good at this, so that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to pursue, or that's how I'll be. And for you, there are way more possibilities, and it can feel sometimes like you are like two different people living in one body because your interests are so varied and because your skill set is so vast. And um, your ability is really, really great. That I'll just leave it at that. You have the ability to do things that would require a very different skill set, and most people only have one or the other, and you have either both or you have all. Um, so yeah, that's a blessing, and I think at times it has felt like a curse to you because it will leave you confused. It will leave you not knowing which way to go. Um, I think a lot of times you feel misunderstood. And I think that it's taken you a long time for you to really understand yourself. And there is a complexity to your entire makeup, your entire personality. I can understand why it can be hard for you to understand yourself. And then on top of that, to expect someone else to understand it can be challenging for other people to get it. But I do feel like this is something that you are growing into, or maybe you have already made this transformation where you're starting to be able to look at all of these different facets of yourself and accept them all and appreciate them all. And in some cases, maybe even pursue them. Like if there's something that you put on hold because it didn't seem practical or it's just not the path you chose, you chose to go this other way, but you always had this calling to do something else. Um, in a lot of ways, you're able now to pick back up where you left off, to fulfill that part of you. Like you're learning that all of these areas of you need to be fulfilled. And that's kind of the challenge in it because you have a lot of areas that you would like to fulfill. There's a lot you want to do, there's a lot you want to experience, there's a lot you want to know, and it can be a lot to do all at once. So it can be a little challenging. You can even sometimes get like shiny object syndrome. Back at the crown again. Speaking of shiny things, um, you can sometimes get shiny object syndrome and kind of like get distracted and like you were trying to accomplish one thing and now you're off doing this other thing and it all feels good. It all feels like it's feeding your soul. It all feels like stuff you want to do, but it can be a lot to take on all at once. So, um, the thing about this is a really great strength that you have because you have this ability to transform from one state of being to the next or from one state of consciousness to the next even um really effortlessly, like in a way that most people, I don't even want to say most people wouldn't be able to flow between these different states so effortlessly because it's probably deeper than that. I think it's that most people don't even have all of these states to flow between. They just might not have the skill set to even try to move from one state to the other. They might stay kind of static. You have a real complexity to you, and it's not static at all. It really moves and it flows. So, um, you have learned or are learning how to release a lot of the things that have held you back around this. You're learning how to release even a state of mind or state of being that allows you to then step into the next state. If that's part of what you need to do, like if you have to wear one hat, play one role, and then you need to switch into another role, you're able to release the parts of the previous role that wouldn't serve you in the next and kind of like transition, if that makes sense. Like think of it as a costume change. And For someone else, it would be hard for them to get out of the costume and into the next costume so they could play the next role. And for you, you can effortlessly shed the previous costume, put on the new one, and step into this new place and kind of like use these new skills. So, learning how to do that is, I guess, essential for you fulfilling your life's purpose. I'm already picking up on what might be going on with your life purpose because it seems like there's got to be a lot of variety in your life, and you were meant to experience a lot of variety. You wouldn't have all of these skill sets, and you wouldn't be called to challenge yourself to be able to move from one state to the next if it wasn't necessary for you. So I think this must be very necessary. It's necessary for you to experience a lot of different things, play a lot of different roles. Um, Maybe even travel. We'll see when we look in your tarot. It could be that you are meant to travel and experience different cultures and experience just a wide variety of exciting things throughout your lifetime. And this is why you need to be able to transition effortlessly. Um, I feel like this has given me kind of the energy that, yes, you have worn different hats throughout your life so far, and you might continue to do that, but everything that you've learned while you play these different roles is going to come full circle at some point. It's going to be instrumental in your life's purpose. So the fact that that's coming through makes me wonder if maybe some of you feel like you may have veered off onto the wrong path at some point, and felt like you needed to step away from something to kind of like to kind of go the right way. And you may have had in your mind at some point, or you may still have in your mind that there was a right and a wrong way to do this. And now you're starting to realize, or you will realize, that all of these paths are going to converge. So it may be that this has been a puzzle to you. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know why you're doing it. And you kind of like you dabble and you try different things and you're all over the place. But at some point, all of these different paths are going to converge into one. All of these different skills that you have acquired, all of these different experiences that you've had are going to reveal themselves as like so instrumental to whatever it is you're trying to do. So even if you felt a bit scattered, this is telling me that your life purpose is going to be fulfilled by all of these varied experiences. And even if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, it will all come together. It will all make a beautiful puzzle at some point. I also want to just point out before we move on to your tarot that you are not to underestimate your intelligence. So you have this super intuitive part of you, but you're also really, really smart, and you're smart enough to find your way around any new situation. That's a big part of why you're able to play so many roles. So don't underestimate that. If life throws curveballs at you constantly, and maybe um some of this variety that I'm picking up on, maybe some of it's not by choice. But if you look at it, you'll notice you've always been able to succeed. You've always been able to find your way, even if that was like you're thrown into a new experience, you're thrown into something where you feel like a fish out of water, you're thrown into a new job, whatever it might be, you're always able to figure it out. You're always able to get the basics down and start moving and start accomplishing, start achieving, even in an uncomfortable situation. So do not underestimate that. Um, you've got that intelligence. You've got that intelligence with you on top of a really intuitive nature, which is it could be that some of that duality that I'm picking up on, that part of your personality that is like you're really good at this and you're also really good at that, and they don't seem like they go together at all, but somehow they are combined into one within you. Um, yeah, let's look at your tarot. I'm going to move some of this. I'll leave this card here for now because it helps the camera has something to focus on. But let's see what we have. Okay, number 4. It's number 4's life purpose spirit. This energy of release, as I'm just looking at this card, yeah, this energy of release and transformation, I feel like it's something that you are meant to do. So you might be meant to kind of have like almost like a lot of different lives. Like you might have like one career path that you follow for some time and then you switch to something else. Um, you're meant to travel down many paths, is what I'll say. King of Cups. Ah. And the Queen of Cups. And I feel like, what if you have the Page of Cups? A lot of Cups energy here. King and Queen showing up after the Crown. I don't know. Read into that what you will, but there's, this idea of royalty is really coming through. That was too many cards. King and Queen and the Crown. So there might be kind of an element that you are meant to lead in some way, that you are meant to rule over something, and not in an oppressive way. Don't get me wrong. The Ace of Pentacles. I'm seeing a lot of wealth and material abundance for you. The King of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. This reading is getting very interesting. So I love it. It's taking a little while to shuffle, which isn't ideal, but I do love what's going on here. Those are a lot of cards. I just don't want to take this many cards, but I cannot not. So we'll go for it. It's the whole lot. And I've been taking the bottom of the deck. These swords. Wow. I don't think that I've seen this kind of thing in any of the other readings. I don't know that I've ever seen so much crown imagery coming through in like any reading I've ever done, ever. Let's look at your oracle cards and then we'll kind of like dissect all of this. So you actually had two of these archetype cards. You have the Destroyer and you have the Healer. I'm getting chills, you guys. I can't. We were talking about these two very different parts of your personality that are at odds with each other, and you have the Destroyer and the Healer come out. So, yeah. Let's see what else. We have the High Lady of Love and Compassion, Awakening, Endless Possibilities. This is such a gorgeous reading. And Gratitude. Such a gorgeous reading. Wow. I will say that you may be it's not even a may. I feel like in this lifetime you are meant to experience love on a level that you might not even at this point know is possible. I feel like you probably have an inkling. You know what you deserve, you know what you crave, but it might not seem real. But you have the King and Queen of Cups come out. So this is like divine counterpart energy. That's just so gorgeous. I feel like this is a lifetime where you are meant to find your soulmate, where you are meant to find your divine counterpart, whatever that means to you. You might not really relate to the concept of soulmates, but whatever that means to you, to find your best and most suited partner, to find your life's partner, is a huge part of your purpose here. To experience love and compatibility on that level is a big part of it. Um, the way the crown is being highlighted, yes, there's a feeling of opulence there. There's a feeling of leadership there. There's also a feeling of this might be about your crown chakra. This could be kind of an indication that you are meant to experience a really deep connection with source power. You're meant to channel knowledge that kind of eludes others. As Emperor card is really giving me these vibes because this this kind of like rainbow path thing here is flowing right in through the crown, and I feel like that's what it's like for you. There's like a lot of energy, there's a lot of knowledge, there's a lot of intuition and connection that happens for you through the crown. This is definitely part of your purpose. This might be a matter of you helping to guide others with kind of this leadership energy. There's ultimate fulfillment here for you with this Nine of Pentacles. There's um, a really beautiful unfolding that you are meant to experience. We have the Ace of Pentacles, and that's kind of like just the start of something. And then we have the Nine down here. So I can see that it can be like this tiny little idea. It could be an inkling for you right now. There's something that you are meant to grow that is going to be a large source of abundance for you. This is about material wealth here, and it's about fulfillment in all of the material ways. So, I do want to talk about this destroyer and healer because um, you definitely have some opposing parts of your personality. You have a lot going on with your personality. You have a lot to offer, a lot to bring to the table. You are gifted and skilled at so many things. This destroyer card talks about releasing what is potentially destructive and preparing for new life. So there's that idea of release again that we had with your first card. Even the imagery here is very, very similar. This is a volcano, of course, and not a tree, but I mean, it looks a heck of a lot like that tree. So there is something here about you releasing, being able to release, and this being a huge part of your purpose. Um, you may be a healer of some sort. Not only did you have the healer card out, but this release, it really feels like a release of energy, and like you might be particularly gifted at clearing energy, or I get this feeling of like distributing energy, like almost breaking it up. Um, so that might resonate for some of you. It feels almost like congested energy that you're able to somehow break through, cut through. So it wouldn't surprise me at all um, if you are some sort of healer or if you have looked into the healing arts. Reiki healer is really coming through strong with this card. So in this way, like you're passionate about serving others. So definitely part of your purpose is to serve others, to help others, the High Lady of Love and Compassion, to help others. I do feel that there is a leadership quality about you, and in a lot of ways, maybe the way that you lead is how you help. Um, that could be the case because I cannot ignore, I can't ignore the crown. Also with that crown energy and like energy flowing in through the crown chakra, that does all like it kind of takes me back to the idea of an energy healer, um, and like Reiki energy flowing through you. Your awakening and your spiritual process is huge in terms of your purpose here. I think this is something you've already started to fulfill. It looks like It looks like there's been a lot of awakening, a lot of realization going on here. It's like you continually reinvent yourself. And I don't think this is something that's going to stop for you. I think you will go out, you have the Fool card come out here, you will kind of step out on a limb, you will forge new paths, you plan a lot. Because you see the possibilities. You had endless possibilities here. You see all of the possibilities. You see when something needs to be released. You see when something needs to be let go of and destroyed in order to bring in something new. And in a lot of ways, you are that person that carries in that new energy. Um, I think that there is a huge part of your purpose that has a lot to do with this healing and making things whole again. What's unique about you and your purpose in this lifetime is that you're so knowledgeable. Like you're knowledgeable enough to understand that the old stuff has to be cleared away in order to usher in the new. And I think that your soul has a much higher purpose in this lifetime than you might have realized, because what I'm seeing here is actually um, there's gratitude for your soul's return to the earth plane. And this can be gratitude that's coming from yourself, and it can be gratitude that's coming from kind of a higher power, maybe even your guides. But I feel like you were very purposeful and intentional when you chose to incarnate um, and experience this lifetime. So your purpose is very, very significant. Um, you came here for a particular reason. I feel like it's almost like you recognize that you're on a special mission and you're really thankful for the opportunity to utilize everything that you've learned and all the knowledge and wisdom your higher self has kind of stored away. It's like you were waiting for this opportunity. This feels like your purpose is very, very lofty, and I don't want that to overwhelm you because I think you're perfectly capable of doing this. You are likely already doing this. So don't let it scare you away. Don't let it sound so big that you don't think you can do this. I think you're perfectly capable of doing this. You've definitely had past lives. There's an old soul vibe coming through from this reading strong. Um, I think that because of your past life experiences and because of the experiences you've had so far in this lifetime, you're able to see these endless possibilities. You realize that infinite possibilities exist, and you're here to help other people realize that too. Again, I'm pulled back to that healer. I think you heal people on a deep, deep level. This can be emotional trauma. It can be healing in their physical bodies. It can be energy healing. But I think this is a huge part of your purpose, is to bring that healing, to bring that fulfillment, in a lot of ways to guide people, to lead people into this place of healing. And that's just, it's whatever it is that you however it is that you do that. I'm just in shock here that you're showing up as the King of Cups, the Queen of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and the Emperor. Really strong leadership energy there. And also a lot of emotion, a lot of groundedness, a lot of adventurousness showing up here, a lot of intelligence showing up. And this is what we were talking about. You have so many different facets of your personality. You have so many skills to offer and so much experience. Awakening is huge for you. I feel like your awakening may have happened even before you incarnated. Like, not that you really have to awaken when you're in that state, but it's like you came into this knowing, like you came in knowing somehow, or being naturally gifted at healing, um, and being very naturally connected to spirit. I wouldn't be surprised if you are drawn to the more mystical things in life, the occult, the energy healing work like we were talking about. Um, yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Uh, you kind of you kind of know, like you know a lot. You're tapped into a lot. There might even be a lot of things that you are aware of before you've really run across like actual physical evidence of them, or before you found it in a book, you already were innately aware of a lot of these things. I'm really getting the feeling here that you are kind of a jack of all trades. That's the main thing here, and this is what you are meant to share with the world. You're meant to share all of these different parts of yourself, all of these different facets of your personality, all of these different skills that you've developed. You're meant to share it all. You're meant to do it all. You're meant to be both the destroyer and the healer. And not a lot of people can handle that because these things are at odds with themselves, but or with each other. But if for you, you can balance that out somehow. Yeah, you balance that out really effortlessly. Um, you're all about ushering in the new. You're all about bringing in um, new energy, evolved energy, and kind of helping everyone to awaken, pushing people into this state of awakening. Definitely leading the way. You've led the way with your own awakening process. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there. There's a lot that came through here, a lot of cards, and I'm so glad they came out because it provided a lot of clarity and it really let me see how huge your purpose here on Earth is and how much change you are meant to usher in, how much beauty you're meant to show the world because you're very creative and very inspired. And it feels like your presence is really soothing and healing. So you heal people wherever you go, and I'm sure that's another reason that this gratitude card came out because um, people have a lot of gratitude for you. People have a lot of gratitude for everything that you bring them, for the healing energy that follows you, for the way that you will kind of effortlessly pick up on what people need and lead the way for them. People have a lot of gratitude for that in their lives, so they're definitely thankful for you. So yeah, I'm going to leave the reading there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for letting me read your cards. I really love doing this, and I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity. If you like this reading, if any of these messages resonated, don't forget to like it, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button if you feel like it. And hopefully I will see you again in another reading really soon. Bye! Hi, number 5. If you picked the star, this is going to be your reading. We're going to find out all about your life's purpose, what you are here to experience, what you're here to have, what you are supposed to learn or accomplish during this lifetime. So before we get into the bulk of the reading, I want to look at a little bit of your personality. So I just asked Spirit to highlight at least one key element of your personality that's going to be really beneficial for you in this journey to fulfilling your life's purpose, or maybe even something that could potentially be a hindrance for you while you're on this path. So let's go ahead and look at these cards and talk a little bit about your personality, and then we'll get into your tarot and your oracle cards. So let's move this star card to the side. We have Delight. Really pretty card. And to clarify that, we have the Queen of Wands and the Nine of Swords. Okay. Okay. I can see that, like, you have a way of always putting your best foot forward no matter what kind of pain you're in, no matter what kind of anxiety or worry is plaguing you. Or what kind of disappointments lie beneath the surface. You kind of have a way of like putting on a happy face, and I think in some ways you even go out of your way to be a source of happiness or of hope for those around you. Um, this is a beautiful thing. I can see this being really challenging for you as well. So this might be something that is kind of a weakness and a strength in a way. Um, the thing I'm getting from this is that you really do have the capacity to deal with the tough stuff of life. Even though at times it may have felt like the tough stuff was going to consume you, it was going to overwhelm you, like you would never make it through. You have the kind of strength and determination that has always seen you through. Um, you are a person who understands that the past doesn't define you. And I think even in your regular day to day, you don't allow even more present issues to define you. There's there's just this ability that you have to kind of radiate light, even if there are some things kind of going on underneath the surface that are a bit darker than that. Um, I think you kind of get that like your past doesn't have to be pretty for your present to be pretty or for your future to be pretty. So there is an optimism to your personality. There's an optimistic quality. I think that really no matter how dark things have gotten for you in the past, you've always found a way to be positive or to find the silver lining or you found the lesson in it. You found the way you could grow. You found how you could improve. I think for this reason, you're an absolute joy to be around. Like, I think you are somebody who people want to have around, people want to be near. Um, you're fun. Like, I'm seeing like the light, the light, the life of the party type of energy from you. And this can be like, even if you are completely introverted, I'm getting that you have a way of connecting with people. Like, either when you go into social situations, like, you kind of blossom, like, even if you don't see yourself that way, you can think of yourself as very shy or introverted, but you have a way of like coming out of your shell. Like it could be uncomfortable, but it's really fun for everybody around you. And if that's not true for you, then it's like in your select group of people, you are the life of the party. You just might not like to be the life of like a big party. But anyway, the people who are around you really find a lot of joy and happiness from being in your presence. They can kind of feel and pick up on your optimistic energy, and you'll just bring light to any situation. So you have a way of finding the positive outlook. And it's not that this always comes easily to you. Like um I think a lot of times when people are optimistic, others can look at them like they're delusional or like they've had everything handed to them. It's like one or the other. Either you have to be out of your mind or everything must have been easy for you to believe that these great things are going to happen. And I think that in your case, it's neither of those things. I don't think you've had everything easy. I don't think it's been handed to you, and I don't think you're delusional. I think that you are the type of person that will do the hard stuff to have this strange analogy like um this is coming to me in the form of an image, and it's almost like somebody who's, let's say they're like trapped in a tower or something, and they can look out of the really dirty dusty windows and they can see that the whole world looks like crap, or they can search around for a window that's clean and for a window that has a great view. And that's not the easiest thing to do. The easiest thing to do would be to look through the window that's closest to you, and when you don't like what you see, you can dissolve into a puddle of goo. But um there's it's resilience. That's what it is. This is coming from a place of resilience. It's not always easy, but you're the person that will get up and you'll find the window. you'll find the window that has the better view. You'll find the window that was clean. You'll find the window that faces the direction you want to look. Even if it takes you a minute to get there, even if you did have to dissolve into a pile of goo and then kind of reform yourself in order to get to that window, you'll do it. And that's not blind optimism, that's resilience. So not only are you a joy to be around, but there is a resilient quality to you. There is a part of you that is gonna keep going no matter what. And I think you know that about yourself. I think you find you have found yourself in situations where you think, I can't give up again. I can't do this anymore. I can't continue to fight anymore. I can't continue to push through anymore. But you always find the strength to do it, even when you have honestly felt like you were beaten, like you were defeated. You always found the strength to get back up. And on top of that, you make it look fun and you make it look easy, which is not a small accomplishment, because all of this is not without its challenges. So that is that's definitely something to be highlighted about you. So I'm glad that this came out. Um, I think that even for those of you who feel a lot like you just want to keep to yourself, um, you have the kind of energy that people want to be around, because you make them feel really bright and you make them feel hopeful. So you might sometimes feel like you can't escape people. Like you, like I would rather just sit in the dark by myself, but um, my friends are asking me to come out to this party or to go over here, or my family wants to spend time with me or whatever, and you do kind of drag yourself out of it. I think it makes you feel better once you do, but you make everyone else feel better. So it's almost like you just can't escape this, even if you consider yourself to be like very introverted, very much would rather just kind of hang with yourself. People are always going to be wanting your attention. Um, I think that's because you have this way of making like even the most basic, boring, and mundane things feel exciting. You make things fun. And on top of that, you have the ability to relate to other people's pain because you've had some pain of your own. So you're very empathetic, and that's something that people are drawn to as well. Um, they're drawn to people who can see them for what they really are, who can see their struggle, and who can still be a bright, positive influence for them, even understanding that struggle. You don't get swept up in it, is what I mean. You have a way of kind of separating yourself and not feeding into the negativity. So that's a beautiful energy that people love to be around. Let's get into your tarot. That's a lot. That is actually a lot that came through about your personality and some of these traits that might be instrumental in you fulfilling your life's purpose. I can already see that part of your life's purpose is to be that joy, that light, that inspiration to other people, and to help people through their trauma. Firstly, to overcome it yourself, which I think you have either done or you are working on, but then to help others because you can identify with their pain. I'm going to move these cards. I'll leave this here just so the camera has something to focus on. But let me shuffle the tarot deck, and then we will look into the messages about your life purpose. I'm kind of seeing that there might be a nature theme for you. There might be something about your purpose that has to do with being in nature, exploring nature, maybe having land, or connecting with animals on some level. I think it's something that for a lot of you, it brings you a lot of joy. It kind of helps to build you up, but you're also providing a lot. This might even be that maybe like like an earth healer, earth caretaker. Um, that'll resonate for some of you. I think you'll know what I mean. You might consider yourself kind of a keeper of the earth in a way. Very specific message. Okay. Number 5, like purpose. Okay. Yeah. We had that 10 of Wands come out, and I feel like that 9 of Swords energy and the 10 of Wands energy is very, very similar, especially in this reading. So that's just kind of speaking to some of the challenges, some of the struggle. Your struggle is being highlighted in this life purpose reading for a reason, because your struggle is a big part of this. Your story, your history is a big part of what you're here to accomplish, what you're here to overcome, and what you're here to learn. So we have the World, the Tower, the High Priest, and Temperance. I'm gonna at the bottom of the deck. 2 of Swords. Okay. I think that in your experience, you have had a choice. I think you've had a choice if you were going to go down that dark path or if you were not going to, if you were going to like wallow in that dark place or if you were going to find a way to get back up and to keep going. And I think that's been the constant choice for you, and that the answer always is get back up and keep going. That's why you exhibit this Queen of Wands energy, because you keep making the choice to be resilient. You keep making the choice to, I feel like this would explain it the best. I feel like your bottom of the deck energy was really like, these were the 2 roads. This is what was presented when we were looking into your personality. You can go down this Queen of Wands road. You can be beautiful, vibrant, enticing is the word that comes to mind. You can be optimistic. You can push forward, or you can be consumed by the worry, by the doubt, by the trauma. And you've always been presented with this option. And it's been a huge part of your purpose to figure out which way you want to go and to be willing to stick with it. And I think that's what is being shown here. I think that you are showing yourself to be that person that chooses to try, that chooses to be resilient. The struggle's there. 10 of Wands, the struggle's there. The struggle has been there, but that has not determined your path. Let's get your oracle cards before I go too far into this and see what else we've got. We've got child, magical. There's like a couple different child cards in this deck, and this one is the magical element, the magical side of the child card. Beautiful energy. The sacred union. Oh, this is about partnership and romance. You're definitely meant to experience love in this lifetime, experience deep, deep connection. Ace of Cups. We have Starseed. Yes, I was kind of getting that vibe from you, that Starseed vibe. A burst of magic. So we had magical here and magic. And then you had two of these cards come out. So let's see. We have health and balance. There's a lot of healer energy coming through for you. Same was true for pile 4. So there might be a message for you there. Let me get these all within view. I am really drawn to a couple of things because there's like a lot of repeating ideas here. one is that you had temperance come out, and you also have this balance card. So pacing yourself and being very balanced is something I think that has served you well. It almost takes me back to this Two of Swords energy, like the balanced energy of that, the balanced energy of the Two of Swords. There's been a lot of patience required here, I think. I think it's been maybe a little bit challenging. It's been a long road, kind of waiting for, I want to say, the payoff, like waiting for it to all make sense, waiting for the pieces to fall into place. But that's definitely what is happening for you. The pieces are going to fall into place. The pieces are already falling into place. Another thing that was really jumping out to me was this child magical and then a burst of magic. So on this card, we have seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. Um, that is the resilient nature that I was picking up on with the Queen of Wands energy. I feel like we should bring the Queen of Wands back out because um, that's really crucial to your energy makeup and to your life's purpose. You are here to see all of the possibilities, to see all of the beauty, to experience magic in real life. Like you are here to kind of delight in all wait, delight. Okay. To delight in all the world has to offer, and that's what we have here. So yeah, there is something like it's not indulgence. There's kind of this energy of you treasuring something or treasuring a lot of things in your life during this lifetime, having a lot to be grateful for, and really enjoying a lot. It's sort of a hard energy to put into words. It's like like I was saying, it's not indulgence so much. It's like having so many things to be grateful for, having, I think it's this Ace of Cups energy, having your cup running over with love, with abundance, with really good health. That's another thing coming through for you, that you are meant to experience really abundant health. If health has been a struggle for you, um, it's like I think that this has come up in your life to really highlight the idea of perfect health, of abundant health for you, because this is something that you are meant to experience. So you may have actually experienced the opposite of that in preparation for you kind of coming into your own. And this could have a lot to do with you being someone who can help to balance and heal those around you. And just having that personal experience has gotten you there. But this is about all sorts of health, mental health, the health of your relationships. Speaking of relationships, you have the Sacred Union card, you have the Ace of Cups. Um, you are meant to experience some really, really beautiful connections. I feel like for a lot of you, this is one particular very important connection. But I think that you are someone who attracts a lot of love into your life, and you are meant to experience that. It's like you're a beacon of hope, and you're the type of person who's incredibly inspiring without even trying to be. Um, I think maybe you have felt like you were off track, because I think a lot of the things that have happened in your life could be seemingly exactly the opposite of what you feel you're supposed to experience, but you have not gotten off track. With the star seed card, the star seed's always an indication that um that you have a really important mission, that you have a huge important life purpose, but there's a lot of times what comes with that is the feeling of forgetting it. There's a feeling of like, I know there was something I was supposed to remember to do in this life, but I don't know what it is anymore. I lost track of it somewhere along the way. There's kind of that, like, I feel like that is inherent when it comes to this starseed energy, because there's this deep connection there. There's this knowing that feels too real to be a coincidence, but at the same time, a lot of times it's impossible to put your finger on exactly what it is. But it's all going to become clear. Um, you are on purpose. That's what I want to say here. You are on purpose. The World card really makes me think that travel is important to you. Also, Queen of Wands energy. Queen of Wands is a traveler for me. Um, so travel could be really important, and it could be a huge part of your purpose. You may want to travel and heal or help people around the world. That could be really important. Um, I think that it's really important for you to be knowing and believing and trusting that you are on purpose. So this keeps kind of coming back. For me, that you are on a mission, that you're on the right track is hugely important. I think that your guides might be highlighting that to me because if there's any doubt left in your mind, they really want to eliminate that because there's so much that you have to offer. And being in that state of doubt, it kind of clouds that connection that you have. It clouds it can even help you not help you, it can even hinder you in discovering your purpose, like discovering the starseed card says what lights you out, really discovering what that is. I think that your purpose is something that has been revealed to you bit by bit. It's been almost like a journey of remembering. um, it doesn't feel like it's new information to you. It feels like it is something that feels like you are slowly waking up to, and you're slowly realizing that there is magic all around. Your deeper purpose is just going to continue to be revealed to you as you experience more and more of life. But really, it's like you've known all along. I think you just didn't really know what all of the different pieces meant, but there's like a magical essence to you. The Queen of Wands is a major symbol of magic. A lot of people, because of the black cat, kind of associate this card with magic. And it's not just that, it's also just all of her attributes. It's her strength, it's her magnetism, it's her confidence, it's that fiery nature. There's a magical quality to the Queen of Wands. And magic is clearly a theme for you with this burst of magic and this magical card here. It is clearly a theme. I think a lot is being revealed to you and has already been revealed to you. It's felt a little bit clouded at times, I think, about what your purpose is, but you've always known that it held some great importance. And being patient enough for it to unfold and reveal itself to you has been challenging at times. I think sometimes it almost made you want to get off of the road of like knowing that you had this purpose. Like just kind of bail out because there's a part of you that's like, well, if I still haven't figured it out, maybe I'm delusional. Like maybe it's not going to happen that way, but there's this little part of you that's always held on to it, and that's for the best. That is for the best. I just really want to point out again, like you have the Nine of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and the Tower. So this is not going unnoticed. Like the challenge and the struggle that has been present is not going unnoticed. It's definitely being highlighted here, but it is being highlighted as part of your purpose. These are things that you were meant to grow through, grow from, and you were meant to grow into the person that you came here to be, to find that balance, to find that connection, maybe even to heal your physical body and to heal the physical bodies of others. You are, I feel like you're sort of a North Star, kind of a place that people can place their focus to figure out how to achieve to figure out how to overcome. That's really the energy of this Queen of Wands. And you also picked the Star. So yeah, there's this feeling of like being a guiding light in a way, and really showing people how you overcome life's hardships, how you heal from that, how you move on from that. Um, your purpose here is to raise the vibration of everything, everybody, everywhere you go. Um, it's like anywhere you go instantly becomes a happier place. It instantly becomes a place full of more possibilities, a place that's more hopeful overall. You carry with you a sense of hope, and things start becoming fun. That's kind of this childlike energy here. It's fun energy. It's light energy. Um, it's playful and it's imaginative and it's curious energy. And even just the fact that you're able to bring that into the equation, given everything that you've seen and experienced and been through, is very, very impressive. And I think that going back to this partnership, I think that that's something that your divine partner is going to see in you and love about you. They're going to love how optimistic you're able to be, how playful you're able to be, how much fun you are. How you didn't lose your childlike wonder in the process of becoming. Because I think that that's really important that you were able to hold on to that. That's something that your partner is going to see in you, and they're going to really value the struggle that you went through because it molded you into such a resilient person. Really, really beautiful energy coming through for all of these readings. I'm really happy that we did this topic because it's been very, very insightful, and I think it's gonna be helpful, especially for those of you who have felt a little bit like you're off track, because I can see that now you're right where you're supposed to be. There's a certain amount of balance that's being cultivated in you. Um, there's a certain amount of ease that will come from this. I'm just kind of scanning the cards and seeing all of the imagery that brings me back to this idea of balance. The balance card, temperance, these two streams flowing out of the Ace of Cups, bringing balance to that. The two swords on the Two of Swords. There's such a balanced nature. There's a balanced energy, and I think that in a lot of ways, your life purpose is to bring that balance into the world, to raise the vibration. It's almost like you are a counterbalance to a lot of the darkness that goes on. And it's not that you haven't experienced the darkness. I think you wouldn't be perfectly suited for this role if you hadn't experienced some darkness of your own. But it makes you more well equipped to be able to transform this energy, to be able to bring in this lighthearted, beautiful, pure, loving energy, because you have experienced some stuff on the other end of the spectrum, and you bring that balance. So, yeah, I think that's all the messages I see for you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and letting me read your cards. I really loved doing this reading. If you liked this video, if you resonated with any of these messages, don't forget to like it, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button if you feel like it. And hopefully I will see you again in another reading really soon. Bye.